Alright, hey, Oni here. I have been requested to play this, Five Nights at Orange Man's. Yep, that's the name of the game, Orange Man. Of course, based on the beloved Five Nights at Brown Bears. Now, if you got eyes, you can clearly see this game is what I personally categorize as an MS FNaF game, because the assets look like they were made in MS Paint. Quite indicative of a title if I do say so myself. Now, MS FNaF games and I have a history, but I am willing to put that aside for, who am I kidding? Let me be honest. At best, I hold an appreciation for MS FNaF games. I mean, you like a game, love a game, so much that it inspires you to create your own? Oh yeah, that's awesome. You should take pride in that. And I love it because I get to experience the games. Or maybe art and music from creators and voices I never would have come across otherwise. That being said, there are things I enjoy and things I don't enjoy. No shade to anybody, it is simply personal preference. With that disclaimer out the way, let's get into it. Five Nights at Orange Man's reopened. Here's some background. In 2001, there was a pizzeria called Whitey's Pizzeria, and following the script for FNaF games taking place in pizzerias, the next step is... oh, child murder, of course, followed by restaurant closing. After a few years, the restaurant opened and the animatronics repurposed into new characters. Orange Man, Blue Man, Yellow Man, Green Man, and Red Girl. And the restaurant was renamed to Orange Man's Healthy Restaurant, where the aim is to teach kids how to be healthy. But our character is no child. In fact, the restaurant is in dire need of a night security guard. Sound familiar? And our character takes up the mantle, leading into the game. Now, the game is your traditional Five Nights gameplay with, you guessed it, 5 nights of surviving animatronics. And also, you guessed it, a secret sixth night. I'll just be going over the nights piece by piece and commenting on anything interesting I find. Other than that though, my dear viewers, enjoy yourselves. So, night 1. We start with your boy Anthony calling us to tell it like it is. And by that I mean, give us a small tutorial? He didn't really tell us much. There's your traditional FNaF doors, camera, a watch to check the time, which doesn't do anything by the way. It just hides the time behind a button from the player and wastes a bit of your time to check it. By the way, while scrolling through the cameras, I'm reminded of this thought that pops up constantly in my head while playing these FNaF fan games. Developers, stop with this grainy filter and black overlay on your cameras, man. I know what you're trying to do. You want to make it spooky, scary, atmospheric. Well, let me tell you, the only thing that this accomplishes is frustrating the player because they can't see. And nothing takes you out of the mood to enjoy a game faster than frustration. You want some spooky, scary thumbnails in your games? Here, I suggest turning down the film grain usage, and instead of just placing a black layer on top and dropping the opacity of the image, focus on the contrast, baby. Making the darks darker and the brights brighter, not just making the whole thing dark. I guarantee your game will look a little better. I promise. Continuing on, there are 2 robots active tonight, Lemonhead and the Blue Bandit, who act as Foxy and Bonnie respectively. However, it's night 1, so they aren't that aggressive, only attacking me one time here, denoted by this sound effect. That's Lemonhead running down the halls, and when you hear it, you better shut that door. Otherwise, a pretty calm session completed with ease at the 7 AM timer. That's right, 7. I personally have no qualms about the time. It's mostly arbitrary anyways, 6, 7, 10 AM, it doesn't matter to me. I only care about the true length of time for each night, which for this game is about 8 minutes. Finishing the night, Anthony phones you up, asking you what you're doing tonight, and after expounding on your plans for self-care, he tells you to slash those plans because you're scrapping animatronics instead. And it is what it sounds like, it's the scrap minigame from Pizzeria Simulator. However, instead of a shocker, you get a flashlight with 4 uses that I never figured out. There's a tape teaching you what to do, but just listen. Did you catch any of that? Developers, another gripe of mine, make your audio clear, please. So yeah, Blue Bandit changes form, I flash a light at him, does nothing, I lose. Watching other people's playthroughs though, by completing this game, it gives you a 2-hour head start for the next night, which I don't ever get in this playthrough. Honestly, it felt like the game broke for me every time I tried this salvage minigame, but oh well, just another day of me breaking games. On to night 2. Our phone gigolo Anthony calls us up talking about the previous location. A doctor killed a kid, it was abandoned, they went in with lights and gas masks because it was so toxic and haunted. Listen, that's all I decipher from that, okay? I still got that issue. Like, what are you saying? I can't hear you. All this filter combined with the fact that all the other ambient sounds in the game are like twice as loud, it's not fun to lean in, pressing my headphones against my ear while playing to try and understand what you're saying to me in game. Just make it clear, or at least a little louder than the rest of the game, please. He says this though. I appreciate quirky as a meme in the fandom. But yeah, Red Girl is active tonight, acting like a chica of the game. And also this flashing thing shows up. I don't know what that is. It ain't game over me or anything. Looks like a scary face off of Google Images with a text I think says pray for heaven. Other than that though, this night's the same as last. I will mention though, this night I actually noticed this is a heavy sound cue game. When the animatronics move, they make this sound. Like footsteps. And that's really the only time you need to check the doors. Plus the running sound effect from that night before. So you hear the footsteps, check the doors. You hear the running, close the door in the direction of the sound. And with that, night 2, done and dusted. And on to another salvage minigame that I failed again. But look, that's some cool lore, I think. Alright, night 3. Anthony calls. I don't understand a damn word he says, except he's got a meeting to go to, so see ya. Thanks for the call. Looking through the cameras, we see the main attraction. Orange Man has finally come to play. Also learned you can turn off the fan and stop that annoying, incessant buzzing. Thank you. Thank you. I think Orange Man attacks with all 3 patterns, being able to appear at both doors and also running like Lemonhead, except on the left side instead of on the right. This night was also my first death because despite catching Blue Bandit and shutting the doors, he was apparently still there when I opened it and immediately locked access to the doors. He didn't get me because I suspected his state doesn't change unless I flip the camera, and I tried to abuse that function, but Orange Man was having none of that. But a quick retry and I got through it. Ready for another salvage game? Well, this time there's a twist. So it says you can press S to skip the tape, and I wanted to because the tape is just asking if you want to salvage the robot. But when I press S, this happens. I think it brought me back to the main menu while still playing the salvage minigame. So in my curiosity, I clicked continue and boom, now I'm replaying night 3 and the salvage minigame at the same time. Listen, I'll spare you the suspense. I lose the salvage, surprise, and it continues night 3 momentarily before dropping me into night 4. Such a weird bug. Just strange that the button to skip the tape is binded the same as exiting to main menu. But alright, night 4! Nothing really to say about it, just a harder night 3 basically. No new mechanics or anything. Just check the lights when you hear the steps and close the doors when you hear the running. Conserve that power. Aim for 50 by the time you get to 3 or 4 and you're solid. Because you're gonna need that power when they do decide to attack you. So salvage again. Previously I held the lights on them and it wasn't doing anything. But the last salvage I flashed him instead and it calmed him down. So this time I thought, flashing is what they want you to do. Not the case. This instance was the only time this minigame worked for me, apparently. And the trick is you only get 4 button presses of the light to calm the robot. That's it. Night 5! So there's a new fella. Basically this dude is trying to get you from behind. And to stop him, you gotta give him the old electric chair, resetting him. But you have to charge it each time with that little button, and staring behind increases your insanity bar. I don't know what it does, since I never filled it, but I presume a game over occurs. I like this nice little addition to the challenge, something else to occupy my mind while I stare stoically at the Cuphead mugs in front of me. Besides the developer from just adding another animatronic to the doors, they put in new mechanics that don't impede on the established gameplay. It actually adds to the overall experience. Nice addition, devs. Good look on you. With the same strategy as before, save for my idling replaced by the backdoor dealings, I finished night 5 in one go, thus completing the base game and unlocking a cutscene. Up. Let me read that for you. Dear, does that say Mario? You've been amazing at our pizzeria and I've been impressed by your hard work. To celebrate, I've given you a paycheck at your bank account. And 2, where was 1? Your employee of the month. Congratulations, Mark. Oh, it's Mark. Keep up the good work, my soldier. Thanks for everything. P.S. You've earned a day off from work tomorrow. Oliver Stickman. Oh, but the typing is fine. Took you that long to type thank you so much? Okay. Okay. And that's it. For the base game, that is, because there's a 6th night. Starting off, Anthony calls us up. The usual spiel, except for the fact that he dies hilariously. Clap and a half for that VA's performance. Also for this night, it introduces a new animatronic and a new mechanic. If you've keen eyes, viewer, you would have noticed a hole in front of you. A vent, it is, leading straight to ya. The new animatronic crawls through to get you, and the only way to stop them is by playing the audio lure in Cam 3. Problem is, it can also break, so make sure to fix it up every time where you die. Here's the thing, guys. I tried the night thrice, and I ain't beat it, dying every time to one of the hallway dudes preventing my door from closing. I mean, just listen to the sound cues in this game for the night. They don't stop. I just watched someone else beat it to see if there's anything new after the night, and there was. Another cutscene. Shout out to Dexter the Fox 2865. Let me read that for you again. Dear Mark, you've not quite listened to what I recently said from your last email. But it's okay though. I'm a real professional, boss. I'm gonna let that slide for once. Since you've decided to do an extra shift, I've given you another paycheck to your bank account. Also, please take a break for goodness sake. You've worked a lot. Yep, that's Five Nights at Orange Man reopened. Consensus from me? I've seen better, I've seen worse. If you're really interested, I suggest giving it a shot yourself. Much love to the devs though. To have such diligence and passion to make a game is always deserving of respect and appreciation. Keep doing what you're doing. And with that, my dear viewers, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, you might enjoy some of my other videos on my channel. Check them out. Give them a shot. You know you wanna. You guys are awesome. And remember, be kind, be courteous, and stay beautiful. I'll see you guys in the next one.